If you're working more than 40 hours a week on your practice and still struggling to pay your bills, this video is for you. I'm about to break down why so many therapists get stuck in a cycle of overwork and underpay, what's really causing your cash flow roller coaster, and how to stabilize your income by adding 3 to 6 new private pay clients each month without burning out or chasing referrals. Over the last 3 years, I've worked with over 100 mental health practices, and the problem that I see over and over again is business owners working more than 40 hours a week but still struggling to get by and live a decent lifestyle. Now, that never really sat right with me because mental health clinicians are doing some of the most important work for the planet, essentially regulating the world's nervous system. So I'm on a mission to reform how clinicians grow their businesses so that their income, time, and energy finally match the impact that they're making. Now, why are therapists getting stuck in a cycle of overwork and underpay? Only being good at therapy isn't what keeps your business afloat. What actually keeps it afloat is understanding how money flows through your practice. And most therapists have accidentally built a model that bleeds time and underpays their value. The insurance trap is built to keep you stuck. You're seeing 20, maybe 25 clients a week on paper, and that should be enough, right? But insurance actually slashes your rate, delays your payments, and in some cases even caps how many sessions you can do. You're front-loading all of the work and then waiting 30, 60, even 90 days to get paid. It's like doing a full-time job with part-time pay and absolutely zero control. And the kicker is that the more clients you take on to make ends meet, the faster you burn out. It's a volume game that you can't win. And if you think about how absurd this is, it's like running a restaurant where customers come in, eat a full meal, tell you they might pay you in 2 months, and then leave without tipping. Meanwhile, you're still paying rent, staff, and food costs today. Now, no other business in the world would survive that, but in mental health, that's just a random Tuesday. Number 2, you're doing everything manually without leverage. You're the clinician, the admin, the marketer, the billing department. You have no systems, no automation, and no breathing room. You're trading time for money, and once your calendar is full, there's nowhere to grow. So even when demand is high, your income stays flat. You've hit the ceiling and you're still underpaid. Number 3, you were never taught the most valuable skill in the industry, which is how to attract private pay clients. Now this one is big. Private pay is where real profit and freedom come from, but you weren't taught how to promote yourself effectively. So what happens? You default to what feels safe. You take every insurance, you wait on referrals, maybe post a little bit on Instagram and hope for the best. But hope is not a system. Without a real strategy to bring in private pay clients, you stay stuck on the hamster wheel, busy, exhausted, and barely scraping by. So if you've been feeling like no matter how hard you work, the numbers just don't add up, it's not because you're doing something wrong, it's because you're missing a model that actually works, and that is the private pay model. And we can break down why this works by taking a look at the cash flow roller coaster. So what actually causes the cash flow roller coaster? The cash flow roller coaster is the feast or famine cycle that most therapists live in. You have one good month and then a quiet one. You think you're catching up, and then 3 insurance payments don't come through. It's not only stressful, it's an unsustainable way to run a business. Now here's what's really behind it. The first reason is you're relying on delayed and unpredictable income. And that doesn't just make things stressful, it quietly kills your ability to grow. Because business growth runs on timing, you need cash on hand when opportunity hits, whether that's hiring a VA, launching a new offer, or finally automating intake. But with insurance, the money shows up weeks after the work is done when the window's already closed. So instead of investing forward, you're constantly paying backward. You're reacting rather than building. And constantly being in survival mode will not allow you to grow. And when there's no margin to invest in leverage, your growth stalls. There's no business in the world that can survive this way. The next reason is you don't have a predictable way to attract new clients. When you're relying on word of mouth, referrals, the occasional Instagram post, there's no system behind that, so there's no system feeding your practice. So you can't be selective, you can't raise your rates, you're stuck taking whatever comes through the door just to keep the lights on. And let's be real, what usually comes through the door in that situation? It's bottom of the market clients, low commitment, low paying, and high drama. The thing is that without volume, you can't afford to go private. And without private pay, you're stuck trading time for scraps, and it creates this cycle that makes you feel stuck. The next reason is your current revenue model isn't built for stability. Now, most therapists are operating like freelancers, not business owners. And that's they're working session by session, hour by hour. They have no packages, they have no pricing strategy, they have no leverage, which means you're filling your calendar, but you're not building a business that creates actual stability. So one cancellation or one holiday week, and suddenly you're short on rent. This model can't support real growth because it was never designed to support real growth. You need to step into the business owner mentality if you want to build a practice where you can work 30 hours a week or less and still make multiple six figures. So how do you stabilize your income? You start by treating the root cause of the issue, and that is the lack of control over client acquisition. Because until you can bring in the right clients consistently, your practice will remain unstable, and it will continue eating up your time and energy without adequate compensation. Here is where you start. Step 1, you want to focus on adding 3 to 6 new private pay clients per month. Not through referral roulette or hope-based marketing, but through a system that attracts the right clients consistently, because when lead flow becomes predictable, so does your income, and that is what creates that breathing room for you. Step number 2, you want to shift from volume-based survival to value-based pricing. Once you've got demand, you don't need to be the cheapest. You can raise your rates, you can see fewer clients, and finally make space in your week for life outside of therapy. Step 3 is you want to use that margin to create even more leverage for yourself. So with profit comes power, the power to hire support, to streamline your systems, and to work on your business, not just in it. And that is how you grow without burning yourself out. So this brings us to how to actually add 3 to 6 new private pay clients per month without burning out or chasing referrals. But first, I want to clear up a big myth that I hear, which is that getting private pay clients doesn't mean doing more social media, launching a podcast, or becoming some kind of online influencer. This is a big misunderstanding that a lot of the therapists that I work with have when they come in, and I don't know where they're getting this information from, but it's not true. So businesses grow because of systems. So when you understand your system, what it is, how it works, and the purpose of all of its parts, you can build something predictable that doesn't involve the volatility of endless posting on social media. So that's not really sustainable, and it's definitely not strategic. What actually works is building a simple, scalable system that does 3 things. Number 1, it positions you as the go-to expert for a specific type of client. So this is how you stop competing on price and you start attracting clients who already value your work. When your message speaks directly to their problem, they're more likely to say yes without hesitation. Now, number 2, it puts your practice in front of people who are already looking for help. So you don't need to convince people to care about therapy. You just need to show up where they're already searching. And no, that doesn't mean posting on TikTok. It means knowing where your ideal client is and how to meet them there actually strategically. And then number 3, it automates the connection so you're not chasing leads or over-explaining what you do. So you need a system that works while you sleep, a way for the right clients to find you, qualify themselves, and book a consultation without you having to lift a finger. So that is the core, and when those 3 pieces are working together, adding 3 to 6 private pay clients a month becomes predictable. Now, if you want the full step-by-step of setting up a client acquisition system for private pay clients, I already broke that down in excruciating detail inside this free training. It's called How to Break Free from Insurance and Build a 10K a Month Practice. So if you want to see what that looks like step-by-step, you'll want to check that out. I will leave a link in the description box below. So that is it for this video. I hope you got some value out of it, and let me know in the comments what else you'd like to see.